The UN Security Council has once again become a battleground between the U.S. and Russia during a meeting in the run-up to the UN's 70th anniversary. While speaking at a special meeting of the UN Security Council, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Western powers are trying to dominate and impose their ideology on the rest of the world. To discuss the very latest, earlier I was joined by RT's Marina Portnaya. Take a listen.
As you mentioned, accusations are flying once again between Russia and the U.S. They're being traded this time during a ministerial meeting of the UN Security Council, which was convening to assess the overall operations of the UN. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov told members that while the UN Charter remains the cornerstone of international law, unilateral actions over the past decades have compromised the strength and legitimacy of the UN Charter and the international organization. Now, without mentioning the United States by name, Mr. Lavrov said the occupation of Iraq under false pretense, the bombing of Syria, and the destabilization of Libya are among the many actions done in violation of the UN Charter. Subsequently, Russia says unilateral actions of force have turned many parts of the Arab world into a breeding ground for extremists. Now, Foreign Minister Lavrov implicitly accused Washington of putting pressure on sovereign states to promote America's agenda, including at times regime change. In the meantime, U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power, fired back, accusing Moscow of violating the UN Charter by allegedly training, arming, and fighting alongside separatists who have seized Ukrainian territory. The U.S. envoy also implicitly criticized Russia for blocking numerous attempts by the Security Council to take action against the Syrian government over the past few years. Mr. Lavrov ended his statements telling the Security Council and members of the UN that if they want the UN to be an instrument of global peace, that double standards must be removed from world politics. So as we see, while this was not a meeting that was specifically focused on the crisis in Ukraine, which we normally see Russia and the U.S. Bumping heads, even in the greater context of the role of the UN, we still see these two big forces throwing jabs at one another yet again.
Absolutely. A fiery exchange of words. RT correspondent Marina Portnaya, thanks for that reporting.